Okay, so we are going to graph linear equations and linear inequalities. Are you ready? So then you're not ready. What have you been doing this whole time when I was checking to see if you guys were ready? Not being ready? Does anyone have an extra pencil? Marvelous. Thank you. We're finding you one. All right. Braden, no mistakes today because you got a pen. That's all you got. So you got to do it perfect first time. Okay. All right. If it's an equation, what symbol does it have? An equal sign. If it's an inequality, what does it have? You think they don't know that the door is unlocked? Okay, somebody answer the phone and they say, Miss Rice's room, student speaking. Say, Miss Rice's room, student speaking. Yeah. Yeah, good job. Huh? You're good. You're good. They called him. Okay. And then what symbols do we see for inequalities? Uh-huh. Less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. I know we have our headphones out at this point, right? Everyone's got their headphones out. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. So whenever we draw an equation, those are just straight lines. Those are easy to draw. Inequalities are going to be a little bit more complicated. So with this one, this is in that slope-intercept form. If you guys remember that from Math 1, you might have learned it before then, actually. Y equals mx plus b. Anyone remember what the number on the end is? It's your starting point. Yeah, it's your y-intercept. Sometimes they call it an initial value. So you draw it on the y-axis. So our starting point is 7, so we're going to go up to 7. On the y-axis, we're going to put a dot there. And then the m value is what? It's 1/2. Do you guys remember what it stands for? It's a word with the letter S. Slope. It's the slope. So the 1/2, if you guys remember, it's rise over run. And the number on top can tell you to go up or down. The number on the bottom always tells you to go to the right. It never tells you to go to the left. It always tells you to go to the right. So it's going to tell you a pattern to do, and we're going to do that pattern until we run out of space. And then we can go the opposite direction. So this one is a positive number, so it's telling us to go up 1 to the right 2. So we go up if the number's positive, we go down if the number's negative, and then we always go to the right. So we're going to go up 1, right 2, up 1, right 2, up 1, right 2. And then, when you run out of space, then you can do the opposite of everything. So instead of going up 1, right 2, we can go down 1, left 2. Yeah, exactly right. So down 1, left 2, down 1, left 2, down 1, left 2. And there's our line. So now I'm going to go ahead and use my straight edge to connect the points. Lines go on forever, so I always make sure to put arrows on each end. And I'm finished. Whew, so beautiful, isn't it? Isn't that a thing of beauty? Nobody? It's fine, tough crowd. Okay, that's cool. Okay, for the next one, where do we start? Positive 1. Now, this slope is written as -2. It's a whole number. We want it to be a fraction, so we put it over 1. So anytime you have a whole number, You're just going to write it as a fraction. So with this one, it's got a negative in the front. What does that mean? We're going to go down. Do we go left or right? Right, because we always go right. Always go right. That was a trick question. Okay, so we're going to go down 2, right 1. Down 2, right 1. Down 2, right 1. Down 2, right 1. Okay. And then after that, when we run out of space, we can go the opposite direction. So we're going to go up 2, left 1, up 2, left 1, up 2, left 1. Okay? And we can draw our line. Okay, so this form right here, what we just did, if you want to label it on your paper, just so you know what words people use, they call this slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form, because they gave you a slope, they gave you an intercept. That's why they call it that. Slope-intercept form. Okay. There's that second example again. How are we feeling about that? We good? Yes? Okay. Now the next form has the x and the y on the same side, and then it has the number on the other side, or sometimes they have the x, the y, and the number, and they make it equal 0. This is called standard form. And they do this for a lot of different functions, where they put everything on one side and they make it equal 0, or they put most of the stuff on one side and they make it equal a number. So this is the standard form. And our goal is going to be to put it in y equals mx plus b, so that we can find the y-intercept and find the slope, and we can graph it. So we want to get the y alone. And so that means the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the x, and we want to move the x over to the side with the 12. So if I have a positive 3x, how do I move a positive 3x? I'm going to subtract it. So the opposite of positive 3x is negative 3x. So I'm going to go ahead and keep the 4y on the left side. And then on the right side, if I want to keep in mind that I have y equals mx plus b, I have the y on the left side, and then I have a negative 3x, and I have a 12, and I want it to look like this. Which one should I write first, the 12 or the negative 3x? The negative 3x, because I always want the x term to be written first. So as long as you keep the sign in front of the number, if it's negative, you write the negative. If it's positive, you write a plus. As long as you keep the sign in front of the number, you can write them in any order that you want. So I'm going to write negative 3x, and then the 12 is a positive 12, and so I'm going to write plus 12. We good so far? Okay. And then at this point, we want the y to be alone, so how do we do that? Yeah, we divide by 4. So a 4 and a y written next to each other means multiply, so we're going to divide by 4. And then on the right side, we have to make sure that we do that to everything. So I'm going to divide by 4 right here, divide by 4 right here. So 4 divided by 4 just goes away, right? 4's cancel, that's a 1. 1y and y are the same thing. So you can write the 1 or not write the 1, it doesn't matter. Over here, negative 3x divided by 4 is the same as if you take the 4 and just write it with the 3. So writing negative 3/4 with an x next to it, that's the same thing. And then what happens if you have a 12 divided by 4? It's 3. Okay, so now it looks like the problems we just did. So how do we start? Okay, start at positive 3. We got a negative slope, so we're going to go down. We're going to go down 1, 2, 3, and then go 4 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go down 1, 2, 3. Go right 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And then we ran out of space, so what do we do next? Go up 3 to the left 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. When we're done with the notes. Okay, what's the first step for the next example? Yeah, we want to get the y alone. Our goal is to make it y equals mx plus b. So we want to take the 2x and we want to move it to the other side. Okay, go ahead and take a moment and do whatever you need to do to make that happen. I want you to take a moment. Get this 2x over on the other side. So we've got the negative 3y alone. What did you guys write on the right side? We got 9 plus 2x. Is that, this is not mathematically wrong, but is it the order we want? Negative 2x plus 9. Now this was a negative 2x over here. Would it still be a negative 2x when you move it to the other side? No. So if it's a negative 2x on the left side, then when we move it, we're going to do plus 2x. So it was correct to have a plus 2x on the right side. We do want a plus 2x. Do we want them in this order? No. So what should I do? Two x plus 9. So I want this because I want it to match what I'm used to. I don't want to confuse myself by having things backwards. Okay, and then what do I need to do next? Divide by negative 3. Okay, go ahead and do that step. Divide by negative 3. So we get y equals, and then what did you guys get? Okay, negative 2/3. So when you have a negative on the bottom of a fraction, you can move it to the top or just move it to the front. You don't have to leave it on the bottom. You can, but you don't have to. Negative 2/3 x, and then what did you have? Minus 3. Okay, so go ahead and start graphing it. And your graph should look like this. Is it looking like that? Down 2, right 3, down 2, right 3, down 2, right 3? Yeah.